Welcome to T Boys TV. We're back again with another hat show. Obviously, episode 248. And by the time, Dad, we'll have episode 250. It is for that, ultimate game. You could say final game of the season. So that'll be very interesting. But before we get into the Coventry game, Dad, how have you been?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all blessed, mate. I'm good.
Yeah, good to hear. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Big up to everyone that has obviously been waiting for us to go on. But obviously, Coventry. Obviously, we spoke on the Bristol City game the other day. Going into this Coventry game now is it's another obviously massive game for us. You could argue that's quite a massive game for Coventry as well. Obviously, didn't quite manage to cement their playoff chances. With a win at Plymouth on Easter Monday, they did take a heavy defeat. Not a lot of people would have expected, if we're being totally honest. Obviously, as for us, our first 3 goals we scored since Watford, which was always great. So in that sense, that has been the problem, especially under Bloomfield. But obviously, it's not been his fault. The players just haven't been able to finish. But we've defended a lot better. Whereas that game, everything sort of come around. Obviously, it didn't quite get a clean sheet, but still was good to get a good win and a pretty emphatic win. But yeah, going into this one, obviously it's a massive game, for both teams. Like I say, if we did win, depending on other results, and obviously Hull and Derby do play each other, so either both teams could drop points or one team. We could actually potentially go up to 20th, depending. Sorry, yeah. So say for example, it's one of them where it's all mad really, because Hull are currently on more points than Derby by 2, but then if they get a draw, um, we win, we go up to 21st, so obviously out of it. And then if Derby won, it would put them. We won. We'd go 21st is basically where we could go with a win here. So out of the relegation zone, a draw, if we did get a result, again puts us up there. Obviously, if we got a draw and they drew, then we would be still where, excuse me, still where we are because of our goal difference. So yeah, it's one of them where we need to go all out for a win. Coventry obviously sits sixth. Obviously if they did win, they potentially, depending on the Bristol City result, which is not till Monday, and they are playing Leeds away, to be fair. So you'd probably say they do lose that. They could go above Bristol City into fifth. So, yeah, and then when it comes to the insight, Luton have lost just one of their last 10 league games against Coventry, winning 4, drawing 5, though it was in the reverse fixture, 3-2. I was at that game. I mean, it was madness how we even went 2-0 up, to be quite honest with you, because they had some great opportunities in that game, but obviously they did bring it back. Second half, we just capitulated. Obviously, Holmes got 2 yellow cards. It weren't great in the end. Following their 3-2 win in October, Coventry are looking to complete their first league double over Luton since 2005 to 6. Luton have won consecutive league games for the first time since September, like you mentioned, Dad. They last won 3 in a row in March 2023. Coventry have lost 3 of their last 4 away league games, drawing 1, having won 4 in a row on the road before this. And then the last one on this section, Haji Wright has scored 5 goals in his last 7 championship appearances, while he also scored Coventry's 90th minute, obviously against us, in a reverse fixture. And then a bit more going into it when it comes to Coventry. So they fluffed their lines, like I say, to confirm playoffs, obviously losing to Plymouth. Lampard's side will require more points in the final 2 games to extend their season, with a final day battle against fellow playoff hopefuls Middlesbrough looming. Millwall and Blackburn also charging in behind them. Coventry will need to add to their 67 points. Matt Grimes is the man in form for Saturday's visitors, with the former Swansea midfielder has 2 goals in his last 3 games. To be fair, I've always thought Matt Grimes is quite a good player. I did think when they signed him that was a good addition to their squad, and he was such a standout player for Swansea. He was sort of inevitably going to get a move because Swansea, let's be honest, they are, they're an established championship team, but they don't really go up, they don't really go down. Do you know what I mean? So he was always going to make that move at some point for me. I remember in his debut when he come on, I think it was actually against Leeds, and even that was against Leeds. He just done like the basics so well and just made their midfield click basically. And then the official for this game will be Oliver Langford. 91 yellow cards and 3 red cards have been handed out by him across his 28 games this season. Just 2 of his games have not been championship games this year, 2 of his 28. And he last officiated us when we actually played Stoke in November 2022. And if I remember rightly, I think that was Nathan Jones' last game, if I remember rightly. So that was obviously a very long time ago. I believe it was the 2-0 defeat we had. So, yeah, there was a game, I can't remember who it was, but we had a referee that we didn't have for a while as well. I can't remember if it's Derby or Bristol City game. So, quite interesting there, given the amount of championship games they do have as well. But some decent records we got over Coventry. Obviously, memorable games, of course. Playoff final, obviously, the standout. The 5-0 at Kenilworth Road as well. There was a 2-2 draw, a lively 2-2 draw at Kenilworth Road. I remember doing a vlog to that because I was at that game. So we have had them memorable games, especially at home against them. Away, there is some decent ones. Obviously, not this year, but I remember we drew 1-1. Lockyer got the earliest goal in the whole of the country that weekend. So we do have them edgy affairs against them most of the time, taking out the 5-0. But yeah, some decent records overall, Dad. How are you feeling about this game?
Yeah, pretty confident you got to be, especially after our last performance home. Again, we've said this about Blackburn, wasn't it? Got a good record, they've never beaten us and that, but that can't really be happening again. Massive game. They're probably, we've been fighting for a little while now, so we're kind of on that roll. Whereas Coventry sort of, they were coasting a little bit in the playoffs, innit? And now they've got to, basically do what we've got to do, win and rely on other results and stuff like that. But I've seen a few of their games recently, and their defence is just looks all over the place. And he's done well to get them up there. They've got some good players and that, but they're not great really. So yeah, I don't see why we can't beat them. Obviously, we can't afford to lose. We need at least a win and a draw from the last 2 games to try and keep us up. So yeah, I'm confident we can get a result.
Yeah, and obviously the other day gives us a lot of confidence. Obviously Monday, like I said, even the Derby games to a certain extent, even though we were holding on a little bit in the second half, you look at it and you think, well, we needed to win that game. We did. Bristol City, with how the results went, we needed to win, and we did. Convincingly as well. We've utilised that home form, and hopefully we can continue it now because. Like you said, the Plymouth highlights, I did see them because obviously all the games were at the same time, and they were so vulnerable, defensively. And again, I know we went to Plymouth; they've done the same score to us, but I think to myself, well, Bristol City is slightly higher than them. It's one of them where I think it's a good opportunity. It is a good opportunity, and it's not like for them. Yes, they would like to extend their playoff chances, and maybe. Basically confirm it earlier. However, they've got Middlesbrough after that, which is literally the be all or end all game, and they could dampen Middlesbrough hopes. And I wouldn't be surprised because over the years, I think they got a pretty good record against them. Obviously, to get to the final against us, they obviously beat them over 2 legs as well. And I think they played each other actually before the playoffs that year. I think it was literally the game before, and I think they went there and beat them again. So. And they're at home this time as well when they play them. So, I think for me, it is a good, a good time to play them. I do believe that. But yeah, going into the lineup, when it comes to that, Before we do that, we'll go into these comments. Paul says, good evening, lads. Come on, Luton. Absolutely, mate. Big up to yourself. Big up to JSY Talks Football Channel. Says, good luck to Luton at the weekend. Really do hope they stay up. Nice one, mate. Nice one. Big up to yourself. What team do you support, mate? Do let me know in the chat. But thank you for the kind words. But yeah, going into the lineups. So, like I say, this is what I'll go with when it comes to my lineup. So, Kaminsky in goal. Obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to Kaminsky. Obviously, did unfortunately, lose his dad, which is awful news. And he did win obviously two awards. I believe it was two awards. So fair play to him. It sounds like Bloomfield's obviously gave him up to him if he wants to play, but he said he'd come back. Has been training today, so yeah, hopefully he will be in. Obviously, you guys know I love Kaminsky, because I think he gets way too much criticism. But obviously tomorrow there will be an applause and obviously stuff in the 65th minute. So obviously, if you are going, do join in with that. Obviously for his dad and stuff, and yeah, chant his name. You guys know the chant, oh Thomas Kaminsky, all of that. Let's be doing that. Let's get behind him and. Yeah, what a guy, because it won't be easy for him to play tomorrow, because I know obviously his dad did go to the game. So yeah, man, just spur him on, chant, all of that stuff, man. Get behind him. So yeah, obviously that Kaminsky in goal. Obviously Makoso, McGuinness, and Mengi. You got to stick with them. It's been working. Apologies, guys. But yeah, stick with them. And then obviously Jones, done well there. Like I said the other day, I want to see him higher up as the season, obviously, next season. Bell on the left, it worked. Stick with it. And then the three in midfield, I will make a change. I will go Asgard, Clark in for Lamine. Obviously, Clark's done very well this year, so credit to him. Obviously got, I think it was 4 awards in the end. So fair play to him. I want him to stay, whatever league we're in, for another year. Walsh, again, done very well this year, so start him again. Especially recently, sorry, not the whole year, but recently. And then obviously Morris and Ali. I mean, it worked. It worked the other day. So you got to stick with that for me. So I wouldn't be looking to do too many changes in this game. Like I say, only putting Clark in. If we was away, I would probably put Naismith in, sort of where he was against Derby. But this worked, didn't it? So stick with that. But yeah, your lineup, Dad, going into this.
Exactly the same, mate. Yeah, obviously, Kaminsky, if he wants to willing to play, that's fine. And obviously, that's like so I'll just reiterate, RIP condolences to him and his family. Polish people as well, like really strongly connected and stuff. So it's going to be tough for him. But if he does start, then big up to him. And then obviously you're going with the same lineup, really. You got to, because he performed so well. Obviously, you're going to bring Walsh in. Well, not bring him in, but Naismith, over Naismith, because he had such a good performance last time. Stick with the wing backs. Jones, brilliant performance in the last game. Bell as well, much better in that position. And the back three, Mengi's slotted in there. And you just got to go with the front two, based, last performance. You've got strong candidates on the bench to still come on. We've got probably the fittest squad we've had all season. So yeah, I don't think I'll be making too many changes, and I'll be sticking with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, another thing Jackie said here, I totally agree. Obviously with that, obviously Bloomfield went out there as well. And yeah, that was obviously great as well to see that. And again, it shows that we've got a good manager taking away obviously the football side of things, from everything else as well. And again, it links in with the club. Obviously, I wasn't there, but I did see the end of season rewards that they do and things like that. And you can see that the club is still together, proper. And it's one of them where you look at it and you think like the players just naturally things like that do help. They do help to spur on for the end of the season, and it's a big opportunity for these players to showcase what they're about, because again, a lot of them won't stay, whether we stay up or not, but it's a good way for them to end it, really, sort of thing. So yeah, and again, it goes to what Jackie said there. Obviously, fair play to Bloomfield for that, 100%. But yeah, sorry about that, people. Did get a bit emotional, to be fair. Last time it was like that was probably when we before the Tottenham game, but weren't because we lost that game. It was just just had a great start to the day, to be fair. But yeah, I'll try and dry these tears away. What is your score prediction for this game, Dad?
Oh, mate, I'm going to go with 2-1 Luton win.
2-1 Luton win. Well, we said the same thing last time. That was obviously a 1-1 draw, and we both ended up getting it wrong, but it's an even better result. We won, and I'm going to say a 2-1 as well. I think it is a decent opportunity to play Coventry. Seeing the way they were, obviously they will be looking to bounce back. But I'm confident with us. I've been confident with us defensively. It's just scoring goals. But we played a good Bristol City side, scored 3 goals. The players are extra motivated seeing, the stuff. Obviously, the throughout the week, obviously the dinner and stuff like that. The togetherness is still there. The Kaminsky, unfortunate passing of his dad could, bring an extra determination. Obviously, we know when Lockyer obviously went, collapsed. We played Newcastle at home, beat them. Do you know what I mean? It could be a type of thing like that. Obviously, stakes are high, trying to stay up as well. So, yeah, I'll say a 2-1 as well in this game. I'll back us to win this game. And, your goal scorers, Dad?
I'm going to go with Clark and Walsh.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go Walsh because he just needs that goal. Like I said the other day, he just needs that goal. And for me, I'm going to go... Do you know what? Go Ali. I'll go Ali to get a goal for us, playing up front. As well, on top of that, other comments, we'll see. Jackie, I'm going to go with another 3-1. I was tempted, to be fair. I was tempted to give us another goal, seeing that Plymouth obviously done it, and the way the season's going, just for every team, especially at the bottom, is every team is going to be... I just think it's going to go down to the last game of the season, because I look at the other games and I think, well, Hull and Derby, obviously both in it. You look at Cardiff, obviously West Brom sat their manager. Cardiff need to win, otherwise it's League One. It's the same situation with Plymouth. We are sort of, I guess, at a certain advantage because obviously Hull and Derby play each other. They're directly above us. The 2 below us have to win. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and Preston obviously on awful form as well. So it is sort of in our hands to try and do this, really. 2 wins obviously definitely does it. A win and a draw is most likely, but we just can't lose. Like you said, Dad, we can't lose this game. It's the same with West Brom as well. So yeah, I'm more confident. So yeah, that's that when it comes to that. Paul has also gone with 3-1 as well. Terry's gone 2-1 to us. Morris and Asgard, fair enough, mate. Jordan, Ali, Walsh. Yeah, I want Walsh to score. Like I said the other day, I do want to see it. When it comes to that, Morris, Ali, Walsh again. Imagine that. I mean, do you know what? I wouldn't actually put it past that to happen. As much as it sounds crazy, a goalkeeper scoring. I mean, obviously, I'd like to win, but if that happened, because I think, I think round about the time Alisson had it, was his father as well. And then he scored for Liverpool. Like, do you remember that? Like, and I think that was round about the, same sort of time. Obviously, that unfortunately happened. So, I wouldn't put it past to happen, and that would be crazy. But, obviously, like I say, sing his name, like we do, 65th minute, clap, and stuff like that. Obviously, if I was there, I would, but obviously I won't be. But obviously, we'll be watching it together, me and you, Dad. So obviously, there will be a vlog from home, guys. We'll do a vlog from home tomorrow, and then obviously we'll have a reaction as well. And obviously come out before. So yeah, that's that. But any final things, Dad, you want to say about anything?
Like I say, just big up Thomas and respect to him and his family and condolences. And if you play tomorrow, big man, everyone be behind you.
Yeah, no, simple as that, really. And maybe if, let's be honest, guys, if we do not stay up, he probably does go. So, let's back him. He's done really well for us, predominantly throughout his time, and just back the guy, which I know the fans will. But let's do this together. Do you know what I mean? The togetherness, is still there, and that is good to see, because large parts of the season it hasn't been, and let's be honest, there's been arguments within the fan base with certain things and stuff, but we're in it together at these last two games, so let's do it. Do you know what I mean? Let's do it. So yeah, when it comes to that, big up to everyone. Like I say, match reaction tomorrow, and then obviously a vlog from home will come out after that as well. And then obviously we'll do a hat show in the coming days to talk about this game, and then obviously we'll do the 250th. We'll be previewing, which could be a pivotal game against West Brom to determine whether we'll stay in the Championship or not next year. And then obviously, from there on in, I'll let you guys know nearer the time. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Obviously, if you do watch it back, do obviously smash the like if you haven't already as well. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. By the way, guys, just going to double check. But we were one away from 2,000. 2,200. Let me just double check live while we're here. How many we are on? Yeah, so we're still one away. So if you could subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be much appreciated. And yeah, man, I'll say smash a like, subscribe, follow me across on my socials, subscribe to the extra channel. And yeah, me and my dad, we'll see you tomorrow in the vlog. And yeah, from there on in, we'll see you guys after that as well. So yeah, till then, take care and peace. Come on, Luton.